Have you ever seen one Jamaican talking to another and noticed the tone, the words, the body language? Whether it's a child talking to their parents, or teachers talking to their students, or staff and client having conversations, the whole interactions, more often than not, just looks wrong. Why is this so prevalent in the culture, in some communities, in business places, out on the streets? Is it selective to women, to men, to children, or certain groups of adults? Is it based on stereotypes or just typical custom? Let's answer these questions as we delve into the conversation.
The Jam Fam family. Jam Fam, come hang with me. Yeah.
Hello, Wagwan. Pick up yourself, or you're there yard or you're there abroad. Welcome back to another episode of Life with the Jam Fams. Now, in today's conversation, we're going to try and unpack some of the reasons that Jamaicans tend to be so hostile towards each other. First, let us tell you a little bit of a story. So, the other day I went out to the store, and as we walked in, one of the staff yelled out, Miss. So, Eliona and I were together, and the way in which he had yelled out, Miss, we didn't know that he was specifically speaking to us, so we continued walking. And then you could feel that he was coming behind us. And then now he started to have a conversation with us, and he was doing it in a very aggressive manner. So I stopped to say to him, the way in which you're talking right now is rude and disrespectful. And he couldn't quite comprehend what was rude or disrespectful about his aggression towards a woman and her teenage daughter as a man. And so I then went on to try and explain to him what was happening and how it was, but he wasn't having any of it. So he was saying, I have to tell people these things all the time, that they can't go in with their bags and this, and he just kept on. And it seemed as though he was probably just frustrated with having to do his job, by the looks of it, because that's part and parcel of it, that you're going to give information out to people who are coming into the store. But the way in which he was talking was just so disrespectful. It was demeaning, it was condescending, it was dehumanizing, and he could not comprehend any of it. So after trying to explain to him the issues with his mannerisms towards us and his clear refusal to try and comprehend what we were saying, I just decided that, I'm going to mirror his behavior, so that way he can actually see what I'm meaning. Of course, I made sure to highlight for him that this is how he was behaving towards me, so he has a clear understanding of what I was experiencing from my perspective or from my point of view. And it's such a distinct contrast to, for example, a security officer who works at JPS. When you go there, he's so warm and welcoming. He's so inviting. He's so polite and respectful. He explains to you so clearly the things that you need to know, no matter if you've been there and he's seen you there before. And his mannerism makes it so much more for you to treat him with a certain level of respect, because he's giving you the human dignity that you deserve. And therefore, you are willing to give that back to him. Even if that wasn't your default behavior, you would consider being respectful in return. Equally, there is a lady on the Juicy Beef on Manchester Road, and when you go there, she's so calm and she just explains to you the things and what the expectations are. No need to be aggressive and just disrespectful to people just because they feel that they're in a position where they can. And so this brings me to wanting to have this conversation, because Jamaicans have been conditioned into stereotyping their fellow Jamaicans based on how they look, from skin shade to hair texture to dress style to their proclivity to speaking patois. These relic ideologies are covertly woven in the way that Jamaicans interact with each other. It's a deep-rooted failure to respect people simply because they are human beings and showing them the human dignity that they deserve. A real lack of self-awareness and emotional intelligence is at play here. If you really stop and observe exchanges or reflect on ones you've had, you will definitely spot it. They feel that they occupy occupy an office with a bit of power, and they exploit it by speaking down to people and being spiteful. They look at people and make assumptions and start to treat them scornfully or with a reduced level of respect or attention. Then their behavior often changes when they see that you're not intimidated by their office, or when they've seen that you have a certain material worth or that you have certain associations, and then they start to backpedal. In those moments, their behaviors are simply unmistakable and could have been avoided. It is rather disappointing given how far we should have come as a nation. Stop to think on how much Jamaicans have influenced the identity, the self-confidence, the resilience of people in several countries around the world. Think about the number of positive firsts that we have accomplished over the decades, and still we treat each other with such hostility. How can we truly shake this enslaved practice off and really treat every Jamaican with the human dignity that they actually deserve? Firstly, it starts with us being self-aware, knowing who we are, what we are about, and what we are able to do, how valuable we are, and the power that we carry to empower others, and having a true sense of value for human life. If we just had that sense of value for human life and the right to human dignity, then it means that nurses would treat their patients better, teachers would be more respectful to their students, parents would be more tolerant to their children. We would all be more conscious of how we treat each other, and the country would benefit from a reduction in unlawful behavior and learn to better resolve conflict. How can Jamaicans, from Marcus Garvey, Bob Marley, and many others, influence other nations to embrace their identity, build self-confidence, embrace solidarity and unity, and Jamaicans don't seem to be impacted? Well, firstly, expectations matters, and according to the Pygmalion effect, what you expect of people tend to most times be what you get. So if we expect them to behave in a certain manner, then normally that would tend to be how they behave. So we should make sure that our expectation of people is one that is good and one that is positive, and therefore we need to expect people to behave in a way that is civil, moral, and upright. And secondly, we need to behave how we want to be treated. If you want somebody to treat you with respect, you've got to treat other people with respect, because if they mirror your behavior, then clearly you are not going to be treated respectfully. And if you want people to be honest towards you, then you need to deal with them with integrity, and therefore they will mirror that behavior towards you, or hopefully that will be the case. Then we also have to have a leader's mindset, which means we need to make sure that we are leading by example with whatever things that we're doing, and try to make a difference and a positive lasting impact on every interaction that we have with others. Then we need to take accountability for our outcomes. So when things happen, we can't just blame it on other people. We need to be accountable. We need to be responsible. We need to see where responsibility lies on our side, and then we need to act on that, and not just pretend as though we are the victims in all of what has happened. And lastly, we need to release what's not serving us. Some of the rules, some of the regulations, some of the protocols, some of the behaviors, some of the thinking that we have, it doesn't serve us as a people and as a nation, and we should just recognize that and stop holding on to them. We just need to do the work to see things differently, to release what doesn't help and replace it with better. Jamaicans do know how to treat people with respect and with dignity. We see them doing it all the time. We just need to be able to do it to our fellow Jamaicans more consistently as well. And we can take some inspiration and courage from some of what Marcus Garvey said. In the early 1900s, he was able to establish himself in the USA, the UK, and in Jamaica, and influence the continent of Africa to strive for freedom. His words have crossed color lines and impact lives from different spaces, and should be able to give some empowerment to his fellow Jamaicans. The way forward is embedded in concepts of self-reliance, self-determination, and taking responsibilities for our destinies. Life isn't just happening to us. No one owes us anything, and we don't need handouts or bribes to do what is right. We can chart our own course. We absolutely need to continually emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. For though others may free the body, none but ourselves can free our mind. The way we think influences the way that we behave and what we achieve. Let's start to think differently. Marcus Garvey said, "I trust that you will so live today as to realize that you are masters of your own destiny, masters of your fate." This is directly influencing every Jamaican to take ownership and be accountable for their actions and their future. We should really look at the things that are working out, the things that has kept generations before us stuck below the line of viable success. What can we do to chart a different path? The biggest obstacle is usually our mindset, followed by our self-confidence. Marcus Garvey reminds us that if you haven't confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. With confidence, you have won even before you have started. It is time that we start to direct our energies where we will get tangible results and stop settling for being the underdog and then projecting our hostility on others around us. Up, you mighty race. You can accomplish what you will. Tell us what you think in the comment section below about some of these behaviors that seem to be commonplace in the Jamaican society. What's your view about them, and how do you think that we can transform those situations so that we can make Jamaica a better place to go out and interact with in certain spheres? Because on a social level, Jamaicans tend to be some of the most hospitable people. However, when we go out into certain sphere, hostility seems to be some of the prevailing behaviors, and we need to address it. So do tell us in the comment section below what some of your views are, or you can share some of your experiences that you've had, both positive and those that you felt were just hostile towards you. We look forward to reading them. Also, do they have a specific one for that day?
No, I just look for this so I can put it cover page.
Okay.
And I have the plastic sheet for my this works in it. Okay. The white one.
You sure? You don't want there's something there, the green looking one there.
I want the black one.
Okay, then pick the black one then. So we're out here.
Get it back. After the market, so we can pick them up and then use it in the own.
Okay, so we're out here getting some supplies. So she's gotten the lab coat. What we need to get, we'll get some lab books. Look at these things. You have the lab books, specific. I've never seen it. Can't believe it. Where you have, look. Those are the different prices. In another country, people just print off the labs when they type it up and submit it. So they don't have to pay for these things. Here, they've got the specific books just for that. And we are now having to buy it. So we need the what the next book name?
Word of Poems.
Okay. And if you are wondering where we are getting these supplies, we are in Tiny Tot, which is in Mandeville. Yeah, so we're getting some of the supplies. And Eliona just look up and see our stuff. I say those things which she have from last year. Oh, creepy. That sitting where she see her just say how this I look. But she said to me, say she did have basket and stuff for last year for one of the subjects where she don't do that this year, and she's like, also what we're going to do with that, and some other stuff we would have to buy last year, like apron and hat and stuff like them there. What is she going to do with it? And I said, I don't know. We'll have to find somebody who we might be able to donate it to. Yeah, so we have some other books we're going to go pick up. What is it? Prose and poems. Yeah, so we're going to find out the prices of those and see where we go from there. But we'll let you know what the total was that we paid when we finish buying everything that we need to get. I wanted to show you what it is that we bought. Remember, I said we were going to buy some books and some school resources rather. So these are the things we got, and then I will tell you how much it cost in the end. So we got some sleeves for her SBAs to go into that. We got this World of Prose book that they need. You have to have a specific lab book, so we got that for physics. So it looks like that. Apparently, you know, how it needs to be rolled up and everything. So I've managed to do my food prep. Dark up out the door, me done now, me do everything what I need to do. I wash up back and clean up my place, and then this is it. So I've got my food ready for the week up ahead, just like that. So I don't have to stress myself. I know that some people don't like to eat pack food or food with pre-cook, but I'm fine with it. And many people, if you're in a foreign country, you go to a restaurant. But I think so them oxtail and all of them stuff for them prep for you cook that day. Those are cooked before and frozen. Maybe they do it in Jamaica, but them definitely not do it in other parts, many other parts of the world. And then this is my dinner that I'm going to be having. Yep. So I'm having some fried chicken, some cornmeal dumpling with some curry chicken gravy, and my nice little vegetable. And you can't go without the avocado. Bon appetit. Yes. I hate that. So, me see you. Me I go eat my food later. Jam Farm Tribe, let me show you how these different industries constantly gaslight their consumers, whether it's how they place products, the sizing of products, changing the sizes of things and then saying something else about the price. And it doesn't really matter which industry, they do it in just about all of them. So here is some with some clothing comparison, and we're going to show you some sizes and how they differ during the time over 2 years. So here we have two pieces of undies that are exactly the same size in their label. The one at the bottom was bought 2 years ago. The one on top was bought this summer. Now here is the other set. They are also two different sizes. Same thing. The one at the bottom was bought 2 years ago. The one at the top was bought this summer. Look at the size difference. Look at how glaringly different the sizes are. Now, look at what happens here. So you see this size that was labeled 2 years ago as something else, which has now shifted to this year being this tiny size. Look at the other size that was 2 years ago. They are now exactly the same size. So can you imagine that somebody goes in and buy these things and wondering why is it not fitting the way it fit before? And if their bodies haven't changed over time and they've maintained their same sizes in other things. And this is not the only thing they do it in. They do it in all different clothes sizes and clothes styles and types. So you go into the store previously, you buy something and it fits you perfectly fine. And then a year later or 2 years later, you go back into the store and you buy the same size. And then you're thinking, why is this fitting different from the one I had previously? And you're thinking, check the size. Okay, I check the size. It's the same size. But is it really? Because although it's labeled the same size, it's clearly not the same size. They do it to us all the time. Gaslight you into thinking that something is wrong with your size and stuff like that. Meanwhile, they are the one shortchanging you on the fabric. I'm telling you, it's just every time you see it happen, you have to just stop and look at it again and think, why are people doing these things? Is it to make money? Is it to try and see if they can put pressure on people to manage and regulate their body sizes? What exactly is behind it? Because look at those size differences. Anyways, it is what it is. And yes, we bought these in the UK. Have you noticed these things happening when you're shopping for your clothing? Whether you're in the UK, in Canada, in the USA, or Jamaica? Tell us in the comment section below, because these people need to be a little bit more accountable for what they're doing, because this is gaslighting on another level. And this is in women clothing when they already know the stigma that some women have surrounding their body and size, and how society try to impose on them and body shame them into conforming to certain absolutely restrictive body sizes, and all the mental issues surrounding it, and they're still perpetuating it like this. So they're not being accountable. Wow. Tell us what you think in the comment section below.
The Jam Fam family. Where Irie living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. The Jam Fam family. Where Irie living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. The Jam Fam family. Jam Fam, come hang with me, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us here on this another episode of Life with the Jam Fams. Bye for now. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. So take care and walk good.